Good afternoon, all. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Jeannine. If you don't remember from the first one, which was yesterday, I'm just so excited. I really want to start sharing and seeing how putting yourself out there into the universe impacts myself and others. So, this is going to be quite a little social experiment for myself. I wanted to talk today about, well, the fact that I'm 61 and my husband and I will be working for a very long time due to circumstances that both were part of our control and some out of our control. Certainly, being a general contractor during the crash of 2008 didn't help. And there were some other things that were going on. But I wanted to talk about what you can do later on in life that perhaps you couldn't do when you were younger and raising a family. One thing that you can do is if you know you're going to be working for a very long time and you don't like the job or the career that you are in, go back to school, change it up. Hopefully, something that you would be interested in would be something that could be attained by attending a tech school. I am a tech school junkie. I love tech schools. And I love it because you get a wonderful education in a compact amount of time. I cannot stand any kind of learning that is drawn out for years. I want it to be done in months and I want it to be done very quickly and compact. I also love hands on learning. Hands on learning for me is just the very best. It basically see one, do one, teach one. That's the way I like to do it. So I encourage you, if you've certainly as you've looked around in life there was something that you thought that you would really like to do, don't be afraid to go do it. If money is an issue, which I can understand it being, there are government grants at most of these tech schools, and when you ask how much it costs to go, they say it is this much, but you'll get a grant. They're giving grants out to everybody to go to school, so please don't let that stop you. And just go with it and get it done. When I went to tech, okay, so I went to school 30 years ago to become a nail technician. The reason I did that was because my first career, if you could call it a career, I really didn't care for it. I did it well, but I didn't care for it. Was dentistry. I was a dental assistant and then I became a dental technician, meaning I made partials and dentures and stuff like that in the lab. Um, I liked the arts and crafts part. I liked the lab part. I didn't like working chairside. So then when my sister was going to school for hair and told me that she needed to come practice on me to do fingernails, I said, sure. And when I saw her struggling with that acrylic, laying it on the fingernail, I thought, oh my gosh, I can certainly do that. That's what I did in a lab. Whether it's a fingernail or it's a tooth, it doesn't matter. So I went to school. And it was at that time, it was a summer special. I think I paid $950 for the entire course. It took me, I think, 4.5 months, and I was out. And then I had a great career working as a nail technician. And that was a time when people preferred to go to an American technician rather than an Asian technician, because at that time, the salons weren't as regulated, they weren't as clean and checked on as much. Now that I cannot say that about Asian salons now. I go to some Asian salons that I have seen that are very, very clean. So I just wanted to put that in there. I didn't want anybody to think I was dissing Asian salons. I'm not. It's just the way it was back then. So I had an extensive clientele and I made a very good living. Then I opened my own salon. Why? It's silly because I wanted to play the kind of music I wanted in my salon and I wanted the atmosphere that I wanted in my salon. So I didn't intend to have renters or anything like that. I just was looking for a small piece of commercial property that I could work out of as as a nail technician. I needed enough room for my table and enough room for a pedicure chair, and that was it. Well, we found this piece of property in Kirkwood, Missouri, and it had not been remodeled. It looked like the dentist retired in about in the 1970s. That's what it looked like. And it looked like he just pulled out his equipment and left. And this was very good for us because the more work that is needed, the less we were going to pay on rent. And at the time, the dentist upstairs owned the entire property, and he gave us a very good deal to go in there and to remodel it. And it was an extremely good deal for many years. Well, it was really bigger than what I needed for just one person. And I was telling a hairdresser at the place I was renting at the time while we were building this out. And she said, "Can I come rent from you?" And I had not thought about having a hairdresser there, but it seemed like a good idea. And so it kind of started like that. And then it snowballed. Now that salon is maxed out. I took over the other suite, and my girls, they are not they're not like, it's not chairs in a row. Each one of them has a very big space, almost the size of a studio salon space, but it's not all closed off and walled off. There are some half walls and stuff like that, but it's still very cohesive and integrated with everybody else. It's a sweet environment. And so that one is filled to the gills. And then when my husband wanted to move out to the country, I told him we needed to build a salon out in the country. And that salon is about half of the size as the one in Kirkwood. And comfortably, I would have myself and two other hairdressers and a manicurist. But I just don't know too many people out here very well. I've had two experiences with stylists that weren't quite as professional as I'm accustomed to dealing with. So I've just been working out of that salon all by myself. Do I want to? No, but I can support the rent and still make a decent living there. And so that's the way I'm staying until God brings somebody that will fit the culture of my salons and somebody I can trust when I'm not there because I work at both salons. I know that's going to happen. But when I went to school, it was very hard, and it seemed like, can I really do this? Fortunately, God did not bless me with the gift of thinking things through and really weighing the options and just I'm being deliberate about every decision I make. No, I am not like that at all. I am a fly by the seat of my pants. I say, "Oh, that sounds fun. Let's do it. Sign up, write the check." That's me. But it's always been okay and it's always worked out. I'm so grateful for that. So I tell you that story because well, wait a minute. I didn't tell you. I'm sorry. I didn't tell you how I became a hairdresser. So all this time, I always loved doing nails. Again, it's arts and crafts on human beings, and I love arts and crafts. So then that hairdresser who came to me the first time, she was retiring to become a real estate agent, and that room was going to come available. And I just looked at that room and I thought, I think I'm going to become a hairdresser and I'm going to take that room. And also, there's one thing about me too. I always, for some reason, think that I'm going to be able to do something great the very first time I do it. That is so not true, but I always think that I'm going to be able to. So, I had cut my hair, and well, it was okay. It wasn't as good as I thought it was. But the worst part was when I cut my husband's hair when we got married 23 years ago. Oh my goodness, I kept messing up and messing up and messing up till it was pretty much a buzz cut. And at that time, my husband was very, very thin. He really looked like a concentration camp victim. He had a suit that was too big for him. We got married at Home Depot, a story for another time. And it's just he just looks so pitiful next to me because I've never been real skinny. But anyway, so I thought I could do it and I had a lot of confidence. Fortunately, that confidence took me very far because when I was in school, I qualified to go to professional courses because I owned a salon. So even though I wasn't a professional hairdresser, a hairstylist at the time, I still could go to courses because I owned a salon. When I was at those courses, these are usually intimate classes with some kind of hair professional guru. And the lady that I just attribute to everything I've learned and her what she taught me really propelled my career for me. Her name was Frances London DeBose, and she is now deceased. And I just want to tell you that without her, I wouldn't be the stylist I am today. I really am grateful for her. And her daughter still runs the salon in North Carolina. Ooh, is it North or South? I think it might be South Carolina. Have forgotten, but her daughter still runs that salon, and it's called London Hair, I think is what it's called. And I just appreciated that so much. And I was a big nerd. I would inch my way up to the front where that stylist was, and I would hold all their tools for them and just hand them to them like a little 6-year-old. But I didn't care. I wanted to be right up in front and learn everything as fast as I could. So I got my I got my license, and let me tell you this too. This is another reason why you should think about going to school. I never did well from elementary school all the way through high school. The only reason they ever passed me was because they thought I was bright enough to pick it up later on. And I never picked it up until my last 2 semesters of high school when I it looked like I wasn't going to graduate. Then I picked it up so that I could get out of high school. But I never my average grades were D's and F's. The only thing I ever made A's in was music because I was a singer. And really the only reason I was a singer in high school was because it made me popular. I could do it pretty well. So it just kind of elevated my status where there was none, no status whatsoever. And so um, I thought I was just not intelligent. All my life, if I had to pursue something that required any kind of intelligence, I backed off of it because I did not want to, I didn't have that confidence in myself. Well, then, as I mentioned before, I met Douglas Crider, who really showed me my value. He loved me for who I was. And I slowly gained confidence that for me, it was a miracle. You won't believe this, but we got our scores for when I took my nail exam for the state, you only got to pass or fail. But when I took my hair exam, I got grades, and you wouldn't believe it. For my practical, I got a 98, and for my written, I got a 95. And you know what that told me? I'm not dumb. I'm not unintelligent, and I can do anything in this world that I put my mind to. And so, which is why I'm doing YouTube now because I've always loved so many people on YouTube, and so I thought I want to try it. But that's why I'm sharing this story because your past does not define who you are today. It may have, it may have guided you to where you are, or it kind of influenced who you became as an adult. But who you are today is solely determined on, ooh, there's an ant. It's creep. Ooh, it's a big fat one. Gotta, ooh, yuck. Gotta, ooh. Anyway, it doesn't, your past does not define who you are today. You can be anybody you want. You can reinvent yourself completely. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're not being a fraud. You just have to do it enough days to where it becomes you fully and you don't even think about the other person that you left behind. It's okay to do that. Just reinvent yourself to what you want to be. And that way, the rest of your life is just the new adventure every single day. There's no, when you look at other people who are retired, they're kind of on the downhill slope. People who keep learning and trying new adventures, we keep ascending. We just keep going up and up and up and up. And then when the day comes that we meet our maker, it'll be all the way up and then just boop down like that. It'll be super simple. Anyway, I love all of you. I don't know you yet. Please comment if you even watch this for 5 minutes. Please tell me your name. I would really like to, if you have a channel, I'd like to come see your channel. If you don't, I thank you for watching me. And if you are interested at all, could you subscribe? I'd be very grateful. If you liked a little bit of what you heard, a thumbs up would be really a good idea. When I watched YouTube all the time beforehand, I never bothered to do a thumbs up because many times I was subscribed. And I thought, you know what? I was totally messing up their YouTube algorithm by doing that, I think. So I'd be grateful if you'd subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And until then, think about how you want to spend the rest of your life. Think about it in a positive way. Pray about it. And don't let people influence you to give up on a dream that you have. You are worth any dream that comes into your head. God bless you. And I'll see you tomorrow.